My name is Armand Wright. I'm from Toledo, Ohio. I originally heard about Joe from YouTube, just surfing YouTube, and found a couple of his videos and decided to give him a call. I had some properties that I was looking to wholesale, and throughout the conversation, he mentioned to me the for rent method, and I was quite interested in the for rent method. And based off of the information, the conversation, I decided to get involved with this program. The for rent method is just another way of saying assignable lease option deals. So, for example, you find a property, you put it under contract, then you assign it over, and that's what we call the for rent method. I think any time where you can help a seller sell their house relatively quickly, then you help a buyer who traditionally couldn't buy a home, it's always a good situation. So I really can't highlight what would be the best deal. Of course, I can highlight one that I made the most money off of, but just the happiness that you see in the sellers and the buyers when the transactions come together, it's a wonderful feeling. One particular deal is a Vietnam veteran, and he was looking to relocate from Indiana to Florida, and he had a house where he couldn't sell. And I was able to sell that house within 3 weeks. And the guy was so happy. I mean, he almost started tearing up on the video, and that was kind of a shocker. And he just thanked me over and over again. It's just a wonderful feeling to help people out, and it's just a wonderful feeling. It's just seeing the happy and the joy within the buyers and sellers. It's pretty awesome. Well, this year I'm on track to have the best year. Let's just say it looks like it's going to be 6 digits this year. It's going along pretty well, and that's without adding any improvements that I'm looking to add relatively soon, like within the next few days. Starting tomorrow, I'm gonna bring on another additional person. I have one person that works for me now. Well, actually, a VA service and one person that works for me now. I'm looking to add another VA, and then just I take a analysis of the situation once I bring the other person on, and then just strategically add more people to help expand the business. What is a VA service? A VA stands for virtual assistant. Basically, someone that works for you that's not in your area, so that's the reason why you call them virtual. So, virtual assistant. My first deal, I made $5,000 on it. It doesn't take that long for you to actually do a deal if you actually follow the instructions and do what you're supposed to do. Life gets in the way, creativity gets in the way, and once I got around to doing it, it didn't take long at all. Well, my goal is to help expand the business, bring on more people, add more automation. I do some teaching. I want to grow that because I'm pretty passionate about the business. And just ultimately, one of my main goals is one of my main focus. I wrote down some goals actually yesterday, is to help people. And that's one of the things I want to come across is always want to come across as to help someone, whether you monetizing it or not, because I got enough skill level where I can drum up the money. But I think at the end of the day, it's all about helping people. And I really appreciate, Joe helping me by him putting all this together. I mean, this business really changed my life, and I share it with my kids, and my youngest daughter seems like she's grasped hold of it the most. But yeah, at the end of the day, I just want to help as many people as I possibly can. Automation for me is utilizing the auto marketer, as well as bringing on people to handle a lot of the workload. Well, the auto marketer helps you get leads from Craigslist. That's what I mainly use it for, Craigslist. But if a person was in a position where they can't afford the auto marketer, you can obviously do it manually. But the auto marketer is just a tool that's to help to make your job a little easier. I mean, for me personally, I have pretty high goals as far as financial goals. And the reason being, I feel you have more money, more people you can help. But you have choices of how you want to live. Like, say, for example, if a person wanted to live like a leisurely lifestyle, mainly do deals and kind of relax, you can do that. Or if a person wanted to go out here and try to make as much money as you possibly can, I mean, you got a vehicle that can make money relatively I shouldn't use the word easily, but you can make money relatively without using a lot of your time. So you can really maximize that by doubling down and putting more time into the business to really, maximize the amount of money that you can make using these strategies, as well as have other vehicles where you can make money as well. And all that combined, I mean, you can have a really amazing lifestyle. It's where you look at things just quite differently. Like I comment on my youngest daughter. I'm pretty proud of her. She puts together deals and helps me out. And for her, it's just by her being so young, she did her first deal when she was 14. Now she's 17, so her future is bright. I mean, as far as work the business part-time or full-time, and go to college. I mean, her future is really bright. So without this or without this knowledge, that wouldn't be there. So it's just a beautiful thing. And as far as me personally, just the way I go about doing the business, as far as with the lease options, land contracts, it's just better, a more secure, safer way of doing real estate investing. Well, my current situation, I work this full time, and the economy right now is doing really well. And my background is in engineering. I have an MBA and what they call a Six Sigma Black Belt. So currently, I do this full time, and I also work a job. So like I said, you're making like a double income, plus you have like rental properties. It's really a special situation. And then adding on, and another thing is like, I'm working for money, but another thing too, for me, and when I work this just full time, that automation piece doesn't really get there, and I just haven't put all the pieces together. So by holding down a job, it's kind of forcing me to automate and extract myself from the business because the time is not there. So it's like an experiment, but I'm getting paid pretty good to go through it. The one piece that I have automated is handling of the buyers. I have called like a buyer finder, and that person takes the calls, helps coordinate the showings of the properties. So I have the buyer side automated. And then also I utilize the AutoMarketer as far as getting seller leads. So that's like a program, so that part's a given, that's automated. And as well as the direct mail campaigns, I have a virtual assistant that takes the first shot as far as interviewing the sellers and extracting information from them as of right now, for me to follow up on. One thing advice I can give, just, don't give up. I mean, it's anything worth having is not easy to obtain. So I just, don't give up, work the business diligently. I would say set goals. So, set reasonable, what we call like a SMART goal, where it's smart, specific, measurable, attainable, make it realistic and time bound. So say, for example, I'm gonna make 50 calls this week. That'd be a goal for this week. So how are we gonna make 50 calls this week? So break that down to a daily, a goal, and then from daily, what hours of the day are we making those calls, and then track your performance. And either you hit the goal or not, And then from there, once you say you're making 50 calls, increase that. And just track your performance and constantly continue learning the business. Like say, I learned a great deal from Joe, but also I learned bits and pieces from other people. But by far, Joe's material is the best, and how I can say that and continually say that because I've looked at other people's material and it doesn't even compare. Well, the advice I would give for a new person, and that's really the meat of this, because mostly the people probably watching the video are new folks. I would say, just don't give up. Just get involved and work the business, and digitally work the business. Meaning that you're supposed to make the phone calls, make your phone calls, talk to the sellers, and just keep going, keep working the business, and it works. I mean, it's a good system. The system is, in my opinion, Joe's system is the best. And if you work the business, you would see the benefits. And then once you start having some small wins, you can tweak different things and to expand your performance. But the main thing is just don't give up and just keep working the business.